Hello there! Today I've got a Hitchcock review for you, and this is a rare occasion. It's one I had never seen before. It's the Paradine case, which came out in 1947. It stars Gregory Peck as Anthony Keene, a successful London barrister and happily married man who agrees to defend one Mrs. Paradine, played by Alida Valli, a beautiful woman accused of murdering her older, blind husband. Though everyone assumes her guilt, Keene struggles to find proof of her innocence, while he also begins to fall in love with her. I suspect the majority of Hitchcock fans aren't familiar with this movie. It tends to get left out of most discussions of the master of suspense's work, probably because it's not so much a suspense film as it is a crime drama in which the first concern, did she kill him, is superseded by the question, will the Keene marriage survive this trial? The cast list boasts quite an impressive collection of names: Gregory Peck, Alida Valli, Anne Todd, Louis Jourdain, Charles Coburn, Charles Laughton, Ethel Barrymore, Leo G. Carroll. Gregory Peck in the lead did a fine job, even though I did find his accent a little wobbly. His part isn't entirely unlike his role in Spellbound, which he made with Hitchcock just a couple years earlier. Since he's playing a beleaguered defense attorney here, it was impossible not to be reminded of him as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, which I have to admit is a better part in a better movie. Random side note here, my attention kept straying to the uncredited barrister sitting at Peck's right in the courtroom scenes. The actor is John Williams, who would play the inspector in Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder 7 years later. He has no lines, just sits there listening and looking concerned, but once I recognized him, I couldn't stop staring at him, just in case he did something amusing. Alida Valli looked gorgeous, even when she was given plain prison clothes and a more severe hairstyle. This was her first American movie, made 2 years before Carol Reed's The Third Man, one of my favorites. I've always thought her a striking actress, and she fits the mysterious, potentially devious yet potentially innocent type. Hitchcock keeps the camera on her face a lot, as if to help us as we're staring at her trying to detect whether or not she's hiding something. But it's Anne Todd as Keene's wife who probably stood out the most. She's not as striking as Valli, but she has more to do and more emotions to express. She's easily the most sympathetic figure, as her husband's obsession with his case and his client takes an equally destructive toll on her life. However, in spite of the big names, none of these characters left a tremendous impression on me, and as for the story, it didn't have a lasting effect either. At various points I was reminded of Laura, Rebecca, Witness for the Prosecution. Each of these movies has a certain something that makes it memorable and exciting, whereas this one has faded into obscurity. It does sound like the making of the Paradine case was a bad experience for Hitchcock, mainly due to interference from producer David O. Selznick, who ran up the budget and insisted on changing the script and using his choices for the 3 leads. Selznick also made drastic cuts to the movie, which originally ran 3 hours before being edited to 132 minutes. In that version, Ethel Barrymore's role was longer and more prominent, but Selznick decided to continue cutting the movie until its runtime was 114 minutes, with Barrymore's total screen time reduced to only 3 minutes. I think, watching the movie, it's obvious there was supposed to be more. I bet there was more footage of Charles Laughton's detestable but interestingly sarcastic judge, too, since Ethel Barrymore was playing his bullied wife. It's too bad that footage is considered lost. Fortunately, one area where Hitchcock did maintain some control was in the direction. There's nothing in the movie that necessarily blew me away, but there are some distinctive artistic images. Particularly the shot of Valli walking through the prison, an overhead shot of the entire courtroom, which is a detailed replica of the Old Bailey, and a lengthy close-up of Valli in the dock as Louis Jourdain enters the courtroom and walks behind her on his way to testify. So that's the Paradine case. It's one of those average movies. It's not bad, but it's not great. Initially, I thought I didn't have anything to say about it, but I guess I did. Though, did you notice how many other titles I ended up mentioning? Yeah, this is one of those movies that has an unfortunate tendency to constantly remind me of other superior movies. Anyway, let me know what you think of this movie if you've seen it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching!